Have you ever shot awake in the middle of the night, heart absolutely hammering against your ribs, wondering why in the world your own brain would decide to terrorize you? Well, that's what we're going to get into. We're going to dive into the science behind why our brains put on these little horror shows when we're just trying to get some rest.
Oh yeah, we've all been there, right? That classic dream where your legs feel like they're stuck in molasses while something awful is chasing you. Or the even more classic, oh no, I'm naked at school, again. These feel so personal, but they're incredibly common. It's a fair question. I mean, it feels like a total betrayal. Your brain, the one thing that's supposed to be on your side, suddenly moonlights as a horror movie director the second you close your eyes. Well, believe it or not, there's a very specific and kind of bizarre reason for all this nightly torment. Okay, so to solve this mystery, we first have to go to the scene of the crime. And that scene is a very particular part of your sleep cycle. See, when you go to bed, your brain doesn't just, shut off. It actually goes through these different stages. It moves from the lighter, non-REM sleep down into a really deep sleep, and then it pops into the main event, REM sleep. That stands for rapid eye movement. This is where all the action happens.
And here's what's so wild. During REM, your brain isn't resting at all. It's buzzing. It's firing off all these high-frequency brainwaves, making it almost as active as it is when you're wide awake scrolling through your phone. This high-energy state, it's the perfect little playground for creating some incredibly varied dreams.
So the brain is super active. Got it. But that doesn't really explain why you're suddenly being chased by a 10-foot-tall squirrel with your dad's face. To understand that, we have to look at what the brain turns off. And this is the real kicker. During REM sleep, your brain purposefully cuts off the supply of some really key neurotransmitters, chemicals like serotonin, histamine, and noradrenaline. You can kind of think of these guys as the chaperones at the party. They're in charge of logic, reason, and keeping things from getting too weird.
And the result? Well, with those chemical chaperones gone for the night, your logic center just goes completely offline. Your normal sense of time? Poof, gone. So your waking brain would immediately go, wait, a talking dog giving me stock tips? No way. But your REM brain? It's like, yeah, that seems totally legit. Tell me more.
Exactly. That's the secret sauce. It's why the most bonkers, nonsensical dream you could imagine feels 100% real while you're in it. Your brain's internal facts checker has clocked out for the night, leaving you to believe whatever insane story it decides to cook up.
Okay, so now we know where nightmares happen and why they are so incredibly strange. But we still don't have the motive. Why all the fear? Why the terror? Well, the answer seems to be a weird little leftover from our caveman days. So let me introduce you to the director of tonight's horror film, your amygdala. This little part of your brain is the fear and emotion center. And during a nightmare, it doesn't just get a little active, oh no. It goes into absolute overdrive, just flooding your dream with panic and dread. So why would your amygdala do this to you? Well, a lot of scientists think it comes down to something called threat simulation theory. It sounds complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. Your nightmares are basically a rehearsal. It's your brain's way of letting you practice for dangerous situations, but in a totally safe space. That is the perfect way to describe it. It's like every single night, your brain straps you into this biological VR headset and makes you play a survival horror game. Running from a monster, falling off a cliff, facing down some enemy. It's all just training missions. And you have to remember, for our ancient ancestors, this wasn't just some spooky game. Practicing how to get away from a saber-toothed tiger in your sleep might have given you that split-second advantage you needed to, well, actually get away from a saber-toothed tiger in real life. It's a survival instinct that's been baked into our DNA. All right, let's put all these pieces together. Let's lay it all out and figure out what a nightmare really is when you get right down to it. So think of it like a play. The stage is REM sleep, where your brain is all lit up and ready to go. The glitch in the system is that the neurotransmitters for logic are turned off. The director is your amygdala screaming more fear, more panic. And the script? Well, it's just a threat simulation, a weird little practice session for staying alive. So the next time you wake up in a cold sweat, just try to remember this. Your brain isn't trying to be a bully. It's just being this ridiculously over-the-top drill sergeant, forcing you through a chaotic, scary, but ultimately harmless fire drill to make sure you're prepared. I know, it's a very strange way of showing it cares.
But deep down, your brain is just trying to look out for you. So maybe, just maybe, you can give a little nod of appreciation to your meat machine for its weird, terrifying, but ultimately protective training program.
And that kind of leaves us with one last lingering thought, doesn't it? When you think about the crazy things that happen in your dreams, what in the world is your brain getting you ready for? Something to ponder next time you can get back to sleep.